I'm at MondoCon 5 in Austin, Texas. Let's go in and see all of the art and collectibles. Friday night, MondoCon is mostly all set up, and because I'm working the event, I have the privilege of just walking around and checking it all out, private viewing. The thing that makes MondoCon very different than a lot of other shows is that it's all the best. There's no booths that are, we're gonna get there. They literally do a fantastic job of curating the best of the best in printmaking, movie posters, and illustration. The amount of talent in the room is unmatchable. Static Medium started with some Mike Mitchell pieces, but the weekend didn't end that way. Ghoulish Gary Pullen, always striving to remain one of the best in horror and illustration. Look, Jason Edmondson's booth with no line. Matt Tobin Ryan with some John Hughes love. French duo Stan and Vince. The world of Jonathan Burton. Greg Ruth. Yep, it's really just us here. Becky Cloonan and her roommate Matthew Woodson with some decorative flair. I don't know a lot about comics, but what I do know is Becky Cloonan is one of the best. Party Booth, Uniquely Geekly, Jock, Matt Taylor, and do I see some Sunny Day solo work? What a flea market of fun. Pro Move by MondoCon supplying everybody with the metal grid wall to hang your prints. I can't explain how rare that is in conventions. The 59 Parks print series does a great job of taking tons of different illustrators and styles and pairing them with subject matter. I think I smell greatness around the corner. Say Hello to Your Childhood, illustrated by Drew Struzan. What an insanely iconic career. The illustration evolution of Todd Slater has been one of my favorite careers to follow. He just keeps making shapes and putting more and more details inside of them. Miles Sang's work, just like him, is an explosion of emotion. Damn, he's getting good. The very first time I ever hung up my artwork was next to Daniel Danger. Let me tell you, that's intimidating. And look, he brought his own wood walls. Pro move by one of the illustrators that reinvented the art form of silkscreen. What's this that I see? Bold, thick lines. Could it be the work of Aaron James Draplin? Why, yes, it is. I love how Draplin's work really sticks out in this environment. All this fine line finesse, and then there's just that thick and bold. I'm also a fan of his obsessive-compulsive style of containers and merchandise. Oh look, it's my old neighbor, Florian Bertmer. Transformers posters more than meets the eyes. Sam Wolf Connolly, still life or taxidermy. Another young gun finding his way, Zeb Love. Chicago's very own Justin Santora. Old school gig poster designer and printmaker, Dan McCarthy. I love the stillness in all of his work. If you're thinking what I'm thinking, I need that Drive poster by Boris, I got bad news for you. It won't be there by the weekend's end. Just look at that Batman and Joker face-off. Woo! Jesse Hernandez, the Urban Azteca. It's hard to find a nicer guy in the world of toys, graffiti, and illustration as Jesse. Over at the Mondo booth, here's some of their offerings from the weekend. Greg Ruth print. Rory Kurtz Star Wars kind of stole the show. 100% Softs Back to the Future. And these tiki mugs from Becky Cloonan. What a great way to use her work. Little Mike Mitchell sipper. All right, it's dead quiet in here right now. But tomorrow, before you know it, full of people. Oh, what a difference 12 hours will make. Look at all of the fans lined up in the queue, behaving themselves, waiting to get their hands on some printmaking gold.
Hey, Brickey.
What's up, guys?
How are you? What's up with you?
How you doing?
Is this like live on something?
Over to the left, you see the line for the Mondo booth. This area, you can hang out and have lots of gaming going on with board games. And straight ahead, that little corner of the world is the vinyl area. We can see folks queued up in line waiting to get limited vinyl releases with deluxe packaging and that sweet, sweet thick 180 gram vinyl. A great way to stick out is to do something different. This Yvette Brothers print on wood just refreshes your eyes after seeing so much paper. Lots of illustrators like Zeb Love offering some pretty sweet deals on originals. You're the dickhead, Brit. Originals offer another way to get paid off of a client project. Sell that Pearl Jam original and that project's now worth $100 more to you. Sweet test prints reminding us that Lady Fate is always a better designer and printmaker than we are. Excuse me, I see some balls that need busting.
Hey, what's going on, Mark?
Justin Santor, what's up, bud? How do originals do for a guy like you here?
I sold one already.
Oh, that's great.
They end up being pretty good.
A long time ago, I interviewed some Mondo collectors that were waiting in a line overnight. I went and interviewed them like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I asked them about buying originals, and they said they didn't really care to own them. They wanted the prints. But this year, as I talked to more and more collectors that now have massive collections of gig posters and movie posters, that once they can't get the titles they want, they move over to buying originals. And I found that to be refreshing. Big fan of Justin Santor's artwork, and I love how he works skateboarding and architecture into his source material. The Chicago travel print is just top notch. Sunny Day of We Buy Your Kids came all the way from Australia to do a workshop teaching attendees the art of skateboard graphics. Some great stuff came out of this workshop. Here we see lines up in the front of the convention center. Majority of these folks lined up for Matt Taylor. It's exciting to see people line up to buy things they really want. It makes shopping fun and reminds me of when people used to buy music. Jason Edmonston. Look at this line. Jason and I are great friends, and I've interviewed him a lot on Adventures in Design, and I know that this line isn't an accident. This guy, like all the greats, is willing to burn the candle at both ends and is constantly thinking, how can he improve his success? How can he give more to his collectors? How can he deliver more to those that follow him? Hard work is an understatement. And at this moment, I'm upset. Why is he ignoring me? Pay attention to me, Jason.
Hey, Jason, can we talk when you're not busy? Do you have a couple people to talk to?
Get out of here, Mark.
I remember this, Jason. I'll remember this the next time you want to promote one of your silly art shows. Former good friend.
Don't you hate it when one of your best friends is like, oh, I'm too busy to talk to you. I got some stuff to do. Look at Jason's line. Cha-ching.
Daniel Danger has had a line waiting for his booth for about 15 years now. Well deserved to one of the best in the industry.
You're no Leslie Herman.
I know Leslie here.
Where's Leslie Herman at?
Cigarette.
What a piece of shit.
MondoCon is basically an invite only if you're an artist. MondoCon 5 did open up for submissions, but they were going to take people that were already in the family. Just wanted to see who else might want to come out. And seeing people like Zeb Love or Leslie Herman there, people that have a different type of illustration style, it made me excited that maybe something like MondoCon could bring other collectors into their worlds, in their collections. As much as I love the artwork of Greg Ruth, Rory Kurtz, and Jason Edmonston, and all the other illustrators that can draw something better than a camera can take the photo, it's nice also to see the other half represented. Those that have put style and personality over pure technical technique. There's room for both. I'm just happy to see that guys like Leslie are starting to become a part of this world. And I think it's exciting for Mondo to work with as many different artists as possible to always keep their fans and following guessing on what's next.
Speaking of the devil.
Whoa.
Look who it is.
Hello, Mark.
I was just explaining to your unpaid intern. Nice.
Oh, yeah.
iPhone doesn't exactly understand how to focus in the world of Leslie Herman. It's like, I can't make it smooth.
Yeah. I can't draw smooth, so that's how it goes.
It should be the name of your book. Can't draw smooth.
Draw, I'm on the back.
We saw Claire at Lightbox Expo. Link above to check out that video. Last time she was a woman.
Look at that sign.
No, this is your thing.
I love Alex Pardee, but what is this? What is Gimmicky Mouse?
Look, nobody loves Alex Pardee more than me. Come on, man. It's just disgraceful. I can't stand behind this. Respect the Mickey.
Being an insider on the world of gig posters and printmaking and movie posters, I know the importance of a guy like Jay Ryan being in the room because he inspired other folks that are there in the room. So it's very cool to see inspiration and those inspired by rubbing shoulders together under one roof. Now, you may not know this about me, but I'm a board game expert. I'm known for being one of the best at board games, and I love offering strategy.
I would totally play the Christmas tree. I think this looks a good time to play your Christmas
You
tree.
can use both of those waters.
Play the Christmas tree. Play the Christmas tree.
So what are you taking right now? Oh, you
took mine.
He has Christmas trees too.
Yeah.
Don't play the Christmas tree. It was bad advice. He's going to play Christmas tree.
I get that, and I get to pick one.
One of the cool things about the Palmer Center is that they were able to put the panels inside the main room. In the past, we've had to get in a van and go across the street to a theater when we did our panels. But this time, everything was in the same footprint, making it very easy for people to find where the panels are.
So I'm getting ready to host the Canadians in Horror panel. Now, I'm not a big horror fan, but I am a big Canada fan. Lived there for years, love it. So we're going to fill this up talking to all of our friends that do amazing illustration and poster work, all based around horror films.
As I said earlier, 59 Parks print series has done such a great job of putting so many different artists into the same subject matter. Curator and founder JP Boneyard has proven you don't have to be an artist to have a great job in art. If you're noticing half the people in the video, it's because we have slid over to Sunday. Good day, mate. Where the lines have slowed down, and even though limited edition prints may not be available, what is available are good hang sessions. Greg Ruth was someone I got to meet this weekend. I interviewed him on his panel. Fantastic guy, fantastic conversation. This is the new friend I left with. A unique feature to MondoCon is the expertise of the consumer. These people are hardcore collectors, very educated on the market. But also this room of artists are collectors. Here we see Sarah Deck with a Rory Kurtz in her hand waiting to buy something from Greg Ruth. So it's an interesting world of seeing how the collectors and the designers all purchase because everyone here is in love with this art movement. So if you're an artist that gets lucky enough to show at MondoCon, this won't be one of those rooms where you're explaining to everybody how you got your job, that your work consists of officially licensed movie and music posters, and these aren't bootlegs, that you're not a reseller, that you're actually the one who made them with your own hands. And as you can see from this moment with Matt, Tobin, Ryan, there's a chance to interact with these artists, the people that you collect from. And because they're collectors too, they're excited to meet the people that support their careers. So in a way, MondoCon is a big family reunion on both sides of the table. But as I said before, it's kind of an invite-only thing. It's kind of the party you need to get invited to. If you think of Mondo as a company, this is their employee picnic. Right, Ghoulish?
Stay ghoulish.
Oh, look at my best friend Jason Edmondson's line on Sunday. Who's too busy for his friend now? If you don't know who William Stout is, you got to find out about this guy. I interviewed him, one of the most gentle souls. This man's love for the environment is just unmatched. I love William Stout. Here's Sarah Deck's booth. We saw her standing in line at Greg Ruth's booth earlier. She's relatively new to the poster scene, but she's just destroying it. Look at this illustration of sheer. illustrating a sheer fabric that's silkscreen. And she respects the Hoff. Big fan of Sarah Deck. These interactions, like Justin Erickson from Phantom City Creative is having with one of his collectors, it means a lot to you as an artist to be able to meet the people that are supporting your career. I make a living off of the people that support me, and it's always such an honor to get to hang out with them. My bud Rory Kurtz blew it out this weekend. The only thing that was left in the booth was a couple of prints and his wife. Lovely lady. Butcher name alert, Francisco Frevovelli nailed it. Is another old school legend that hangs out at MondoCon. Florian Bertmer's interesting because he can do completely detailed illustrations or just slide over to something that looks more animated like comics. Sleeping Beauty? I'm listening. Oh look, it's the Landland booth with the naked guy in it. I think we caught a tall tale happening organically in the wild. The Draplin store always stocked up. I bet he sold a ton of shit and you can't even tell that's how much inventory he brings. Yep, still talking. It was exciting to talk to the new guys that came out for the first time that all said that they felt like they walked away with a victory in both sales, but also meeting new collectors, meeting new people that are introduced to their work because they took the time to come out and meet them. Even though MondoCon might not be your thing, I do urge you to find the scene that you belong in and try to do conventions. Try to go out and not only meet customers and collectors that hopefully will support you, but meet your peers. Information you can get and the peace of mind that you will find being surrounded by people that do the same odd thing that you do for a living, it's immeasurable how much that changes a career. I hope they got the new issue I was looking for. Oh, yeah, there it is. Grab that one. Blech. There's the man, Drew Struzan. And now I'm going to show you what every good wife knows to do. You've been talking too long. That's a serious move. Daniel Danger just blew it out this weekend. It's funny to remember when Daniel Danger was just a young guy, and now he's doing the show with his family. Baby Danger was in the booth. Landland is the artwork of Dan Black and Jessica Siemens. The duo work so hard together to always improve their process. This Amos Lee print that they did, Dan showed me his pen and ink illustration and then the watercolor that Jess did underneath to create that color palette. The way that they have reinvented silk screening and working as a team is amazing.
Dan Black.
Hi.
Their prints are getting almost like watercolors. We had an amazing conversation about the evolution of their print game. This is why the best of the best.
Amazing was nerdy. It was nerdy.
I mean, amazingly nerdy.
Yeah.
For a minute, it made me miss printmaking. I thought it was another naked guy in your booth. I just saw a naked guy when I went by.
How many naked guys are you seeing in my booth? Oh, wait, no, actually, there was a naked guy.
I got it on film. But this is why the best of the best, because they never stop. Like Landland never stops working on their printing process, working on the illustration, just seeing how little those dots can get before they disappear.
Yeah, it's important.
So
mist.
rewarding too.
You gotta print mist.
Mist.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Look at this series of postcard silk screens on one master sheet. The amount of detailing at one moment in time would have been thought to have been impossible with silkscreen. Not today. I apologize I didn't get the skateboards better. There was something about the light in this area, the reflection from the table, that I could not get it to focus. All of the attendees that made the skate decks did such a great job. Well done, Sonny.
I've been so busy doing interviews that I have got to race to film the last couple rows of booths. Because when I'm upstairs, I can't be downstairs. And when I'm interviewing, I can't leave. I got to get the last booths in.
Oliver Barrett is such a great guy. And get out of my way, Jason. I love how hard he worked to get to where he's at. I've known him for quite a while. This is a guy that put in his hours, didn't hit people up for favors, didn't try to bum his way to the table, but earned his way to the table.
What's up, bud?
Local print shop industry always makes their presence known when you go to Austin.
Look at that integrity tish. Woo! I got the integrity tooth. Knocked out by Dwid.
Not every day you see somebody wearing a t-shirt of an old hardcore band where the singer knocked your tooth out. I'll never forget integrity because I'll never forget why I have a fake tooth. Look at Sunny Day working with all of these attendees to teach them the form and format of skateboard illustration. Just what a great guy, and I bet he left feeling more rewarding than anybody's stack of money. Well, almost anybody. Jason looked pretty happy with his stack of money. Mitch over at the Mondo booth, packing it up early on Sunday, as a lot of people were. I walked around and many of the booths looked like this. Just everything had been taken out of them. Looks like Acme Archives had a great weekend. Burlesque from Minneapolis is an art collective. They have printmakers, artists in-house, but they also do publishing for lots of other folks, such as John Baisley in this outstanding silkscreen. 100% soft! Mondo exclusives, gone. Making exclusives for a festival or a convention, it's a very smart strategy, and 100% Soft is on top of his career and knew how to play that strategy. Well, it's the end of the day on Sunday, and as you can see, there's more hanging than shopping, and more packing and cash stacking. But Erica Williams' booth that looks like a backyard barbecue still has a line. Sleeping Beauty. Yes, please. The art of J.C. Richard. He likes them long and he likes them narrow. Like over here, Scoob. J.J. Harrison, wiped out.
Look at who this is for. This is for Drew Struzan. Is that insane? It's the best drawing I've ever drawn for Drew Struzan.
What a moment to catch on film. Alex and I had a great time hanging out both at MondoCon and the airport. You can see that it is winding down. I love the last one sticker. These park prints are fantastic. Chicago's Ryan Duggan brings a lo-fi Americana sensibility to his illustrations. Always worthy of checkout. Hey, look! It's Tony Mendez, along with Nicole Gustafson. Nailed it. John Vogel, as friendly as he is tall. Both of those things are huge. And look at these dogs! I love a good dog illustration. Table items, you can't underestimate the power of good table items.
Thanks, dude.
Kind of looks like Uncle Larry.
That's actually my dog.
Well, your dog looks like my dog, Uncle Larry. Jay Ryan had a rough weekend. TSA decided to take his portfolio, and one of the shipping companies decided to not ship his boxes. But he pulled it all together and reminded so many of us why he's one of the OGs, and we could still see his influence in many of the other illustrators. Richie Beckett, this is not digital illustration. Everything's done pen and quill, old school. Where'd that Drive poster go? Strong set of table items, Boris. Strong set of table items. It's a damn good looking religious monkey. But this painting, look at that. That's fantastic. Look at those lips and hair. Woo.
Dan McCarthy, look at that NASA shirt.
As the weekend wore down and I spoke to artists at the end of Sunday and later at the after party, no one walked away disappointed. Some were happier than others with the amount of money that they'd made, but it seemed like everyone left feeling recharged and re-energized and like they'd met new customers.
Oh, hold this.
Is this recording? Is this a thing?
How are you?
Hey, what's up? I'm on my own video now.
Oh, that's so meta.
Breaking the fourth wall.
And as I said earlier, I cannot stress enough the power in getting out of your comfort zone, going and working whatever convention is right for you in your career, meeting new customers, new collectors. Remember when this table was full of prints? When a beer can takes the place of an original, you've had a good weekend. But the idea of going around people that do the same thing that you do, becoming face-to-face friends with your peers, it's immeasurable over the long distance. These are the people that you will think of as friends. These are the people that you will lean on for information. These are the people that will help you out when you feel stuck in a career that not many others understand. So the power of going out and meeting folks that do what you do, I don't think many professional artists would argue with me that is a turning point in your career when you really start to see things change. Look at all this vinyl. Oh, I wish it wasn't shrink wrap because the lights are just destroying how beautiful it is. I love music packaging. And this Black Panther, good Lord, look at that layout. And Matt Tobin Ryan killed it with this one. And look at that die cut for 2000. Space Odyssey. Oh, racks of vinyl. No, you don't mix with Flights Back Home. Scotty C. Jesse Hernandez, who had a black light on, which messes with me. I have an artificial lens in my right eye, and black light destroys all sense of proportion of where I am. It was nice, and when he saw me coming, he turned it off. But the value of a good convention, I can't sell it to you enough. Find your MondoCon. Find the event where you belong. This Rory Kurtz print was one of the most talked about prints of the entire weekend. Look at that detailing, both from the illustration perspective, but also that's a silk screen and not process spot color. What do you say we leave with the heroes that probably inspired all of our journeys?
Thank you, MondoCon, for bringing me out, doing the podcast, doing the panels. Had so much fun talking to all the artists and walking around. These are the type of moments that really re-inspire you to go back to work and do even more. Thanks a lot to everybody I met. It's been a fantastic weekend, but I got to get back to California. So I'm getting ready to host the Canadians in Horror panel. Now, I'm not a big Canadian,